So, tell me about Lsat Hacks.
Lsat Hacks is a site of tools to help you do better on the LSAT. There are over 80 official LSAT prep tests, and Lsat Hacks has explanations for thousands of questions from these prep tests. And the explanations are free. What they do is they really break things down. A lot of people don't do enough review of their LSAT questions. It's probably the single biggest block to progress. A lot of people just reviewed the questions that they got wrong. But what you should be doing is reviewing all the questions you had difficulty with, including some that you got right. The element that made you struggle on that question but didn't make you make an error may come back on a later question and actually cost you a point. So when you're doing a section, as you're doing it, mark down every question you have trouble with, and then come review them on Lsat Hacks. The questions show you, for all of the answers, why that answer is right or wrong, so you can understand the answers and see how to eliminate them, and do so more quickly. And then in the analysis section, I'll highlight features of that question that are common features of LSAT questions and will show up elsewhere, so you can start to see the trends. For the logical reasoning section, I also identify the conclusion and the reasoning of the arguments. This is something that a lot of people have trouble with, but finding the conclusion is the most important part of the question, and so you can use these to confirm whether you're doing it right. For the logic games, there are diagrams for every game that show you how to efficiently map the rules and apply those to the questions, and I'll show you the diagrams that I make on the local questions as well. And then for reading comprehension, there are summaries of the paragraphs showing the kind of information that I have in my head when I do the passage. Because a lot of people just read it and maybe they make some notes and underlinings, but they don't actually remember the information when they do the passage. So these can serve as a guide for what kind of information you should have retained. There's also an analysis of the passage that shows all the information that's in there. Again, a lot of students, these passages have so much depth, a lot of students often miss key elements, and that will cost you on the questions. It's actually understanding the passage itself that's the key feature of reading comprehension. So those are the explanations, and they're always going to be free. Apart from that, there's also some articles written on each of the sections of the LSAT that thousands of students have used to help boost their scores. And there is a free email course that comes in 5 parts. It covers an overview of the LSAT, how to study for logic games, reading comprehension, and logical reasoning. And lastly, a follow-up post on how to study in general. And so that is something that students have really enjoyed, and I encourage you to sign up for it. And lastly, Lsat Hacks also has a recorded online course that you can buy that will give you a full overview of the LSAT and exactly the strategies that I use for each of the sections, and shows me walking through different question types and different questions so you can see exactly what I'm thinking at different parts of the question. So that's Lsat Hacks, and I hope you enjoy it.